What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cheesy back with another video, and today we're going to be making a One Piece openings tier list. I'm super excited to get into this. There was a lot of prep going into it. I spent a whole hour re-listening to all the openings. Had a lot of fun doing it. We're going to start at the first one, and we're going to end at the most recent one. That's just the way this tier list is ordered. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into this. So the first one, we have We Are, and it's going into S tier. I'm not going to waste any time. It is a timeless opening and the GOAT of all anime openings, in my opinion, but don't debate me on that. Up next, we have Believe. I think I have an unpopular take on this one. It's a good opening, but it has a lot of basic visuals. Although I could see myself jamming to this music at 3 a.m. in the club because it's pretty fire. It's gonna go into average tier for me. Hikari E. I'm not going to lie, this opening is what got me hooked on One Piece. Beautiful vocals with the sunrise shot, and it even spoiled Robin joining the crew, which seems to be a theme of, if it has a bunch of spoilers, it's a good opening. The yeah, dude, it hits every single time. I love this opening. I was really originally gonna put this in instant classic tier, but I can't resist. The One Piece is real. Up next, we have Voyage. I didn't realize just how much I love this opening till re-listening to it in preparation for this tier list. I love all the unique and creative visuals alongside the nostalgic Sunday morning cartoon factor. Don't forget all the Straw Hats walking to the frame with the heel click. I love that scene so much. It might be one of my favorite scenes in all the openings. This is going to instant classic tier. Number 5, Kokoro No Chizu. I remember this opening well, not because it was phenomenal or anything, but because it was at the point of an animation upgrade in the series. So you go from Bon Voyage to this and you're like, whoa, what happened? This is beautiful. It was crazy at the time. Something about the crew free falling like they just jumped off the battle bus is very funny to me. We get to see Afro Luffy, the GOAT. And on top of all that, you get to see the Usopp and Luffy fight in this opening. And you know, at that point in the show, you have no idea what's going on. So you're like, damn, it's about to go down. Overall, this is a great opening. For the 6th one on the list, we got Brand New World. What was Toei thinking only keeping this in for 15 episodes? That is the least amount for an opening outside of the We Are remakes. Anyways, love the upbeat pace that matches the vibe of Enies Lobby, which is already extremely goated in itself. 10 out of 10, but it sadly didn't stick around long enough to be peak for me. Instant classic. Then we have the We Are Straw Hats version. I completely forgot this one existed, I'm not gonna lie. But after re-listening to it, I do like it a lot. And to do it justice, I'm gonna put it right below the original We Are. Crazy Rainbow. Every time I see someone ranking One Piece openings, they're quick to throw this one into the mid tier. And after thinking about it, I'm gonna do the same thing. I will say it is better than your average anime opening, but this is One Piece talking about. The standards are really high. I wouldn't be upset if someone ranked it higher, but it's just not gonna make the cut for me. It is extremely catchy though. Average tier. Number 9, Jungle P. Immediately, One Piece is real. This is my favorite opening. It single-handedly carried me through the slow parts of Thriller Bark. And this is gonna come up a few times in the video. But I love the sunset and sunrise shots in these openings. They are just beautiful and will automatically make you an S or A in my book. And this has the best sunset shot I've seen in anime, so it is automatically going into the One Piece is real tier. We don't even have to talk about the music, but the vocals just bring so much energy to such a slow arc that not a lot of people enjoy, but I do. That should be the hottest take of this video, so bear with me. Coming up next, we have the We Are remix. Wow, my opinion constantly changes on this one. I like the running sequences and the shot of the crew about to mollywop oars, as well as the pan over every relevant character up to this point. But it is hard to live up to the original. That being said, every time I hear the remix song, I just like it more and more. I will put this one right alongside the Straw Hat version to do it justice. Up next, we have Share the World. Do you want to know what I think? Sabaody gets disrespected hard by the fans. This opening is equally as good as Sabaody, which says a lot. Starts off really light and hopeful and quickly gets rough and menacing, which mirrors the events in the story at this point. I love the hip-hop-esque style and the fun visuals. Brook and Chopper trying to save Luffy from drowning doesn't get old. And was that a sunset and running shot? The One Piece is real. At number 12, we have Kaze Wo Sagashite. Who knew they could do it 2 times in a row? I love how this opening starts with an extremely joyful setting, and then takes us to Ace climbing the stairs to the execution platform, finally cultivating and Luffy falling from the sky over Marineford. More openings need to use this kind of storytelling to mirror what is going on in the show, and the use of color spreads for the visuals was so smart. The vocals are just too good. Easy S tier. Up next we have One Day. I don't love this one. I kind of go back and forth on it, and I feel like I don't have the right read on it, and there's nothing wrong with it. Do not get me wrong. It's just too sad for me. Props to Toei for going all in with the theme of solitude by, you know, having the shots of all the Straw Hats doing work on their own. That's another use of storytelling representing the separation from each other. There's a surprising lack of action shots considering this is supposed to be the war arc, which knocks off some points. And they have all these cool characters and stills, which is just lazy. The thing this opening is missing is the hope that this series is built around. This is going into could be better tier. Number 14. Take every problem with One Day I just talked about and throw it out the window, because Fight Together is the solution. It takes the sadness of Ace's death and the Luffy backstory and makes it hopeful, which makes it much more effective at pulling your heartstrings. You know something terrible just happened, but you also know Luffy's unwavering spirit, and the icing on the cake is this sequence. Ace pushing Luffy forward even though he is gone, and Luffy sprinting to see his crew. Talk about enough to make a grown man cry. Talk about a great opening. We Go is supposed to be the predecessor to We Are, ushering in a new era post time skip, and frankly, it just doesn't do it for me. A lot of this has to do with Fishman Island being a bottom 2 arc, don't get me wrong, but it feels so bland. It's like, oh, shot of Luffy and shot of Mary, here's Luffy again. Now here's the crew in a pretty cool fight scene. Fun fact, this opening covered 74 episodes, which is nuts. I couldn't even believe it when I saw it. I will say the coolest part of this opening is the stylized frames at the end. Those were pretty neat. The music is great, but overall it gets held back by the visuals. Could be better. Number 16, we have Hands Up, and right off the bat, we get to see the first scene getting drawn and colored in, and I promise you this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in an OP. Right after that, we get to see all the Straw Hats individually doing day-to-day things, which is something I wish we got to see more of in the episodes. And oh my, the Mad Lads did it again. Keep animating the color spreads because they are awesome. Please. The music is great too, but that doesn't even matter. S tier. Number 17, we got Wake Up. Boy, do I have mixed feelings about this one. Before I get my criticisms, I want to make it clear that the drip is second to none. When I first saw this opening, I loved it, but after 58 times, it got really stale. This goes for Dressrosa as a whole, and it really is a shame. Kind of like how Brand New World got hurt by not staying longer, Wake Up is hurt by the fact that it stayed around for too long. This comparison is ironic because these two openings are like the most upbeat in the series in my opinion. If they would just hit the sweet spot with how many episodes they stay around, I guarantee you I would rank it higher. There's a lot to love here. The monster trio versus the admirals, and the part where the music stops for Blackbeard and Luffy to have a confrontation. So with an extremely subjective, not objective take, I'm putting it in the average tier. Up next, we have Hard Knock Days. 60 episodes is a long time, but it's okay if it's 60 episodes a peak. Maybe this opening isn't peak, but it is extremely solid overall. Unlike Wake Up, Hard Knock Days didn't get old for me. I prefer the more chill vibe. I guess the vocals and music are fantastic. Nothing crazy in terms of visuals, just a great opening. Moving on, we have We Can. It has finally arrived, my least favorite opening in the series, like by far. It has nothing to do with the rock style either because I found it to be quite unique and a good change of pace. But oh boy, the visuals are so bad. Everyone is just fighting beast pirates in this eternal abyss, like where the hell are we? This actually reminds me of the final boss stage in Super Mario 64, but that game is phenomenal and this opening isn't. There are so many stills and reused moments from the episodes and it just looks cheap. I don't know if they hired someone off Fiverr to make this or what, but I'm not vibing with We Can. But in one of the greatest turnarounds ever, we get Hope. A fitting name given that this OP brought back my hope that Toei actually cares about their openings. It tugs at my heart every time I listen to it. It's so powerful. Throughout the entire opening, it's just fighting and reuniting with Sanji. It shows you directly that to get Sanji back, they're going to have to go through a lot, and they did. I love openings with subtle storytelling, and this delivers wonderfully. the One Piece is real. Of course, it's important to be brought back down to earth every once in a while, and that's where superpowers comes in. I don't have much to say. This is a complete snooze fest with boring scenery and okay music. I'm not vibing with it. At number 22, we have Over the Top. I should like this one. Why don't I like this one? It just doesn't feel like One Piece to me. It feels like every other typical shonen. The animation is great, but Wano had a lot more to offer in the opening department, so D tier. Then we have Dreamin On. Wow, this one is beautiful. But did you have to last for 69 episodes? Nice. Based off of the first few listens, I would have had it as an instant classic, but Toei does Toei things and they overplayed it just slightly. But man, the song is super powerful and passes the vibe check, and the Wano animation is the Wano animation. So I'll put this one as a great opening, but I wouldn't hesitate to place it higher. Up next we have Paint. Really missed out on the hype factor. I mean, this is in the middle of the Onigashima invasion, and you give us this really slow and peaceful OP. That's fine if you do what Kaze Wo Sagashite did and subverted our expectation, but this is like bland chicken. Put some seasoning on it. The redeeming scene in this opening is when Kid and Law launch Luffy in the sky only to see the Sunny. I'll admit that was beautiful, but overall, this one's pretty average. Alright, almost there. At number 25, we have The Peak. I haven't officially reached this opening yet. That's because I watched the dub anime along with reading the manga, so once I learned this existed, it blew me away. Visually, the best One Piece has to offer. The ending with Luffy running through the logo was so cool, and at the end you realize the whole OP was supposed to be Momo writing down all the adventures they had together. Talk about peak storytelling. Because of that, this is going into the special work of art tier, because even though the music is awesome, the animation is surreal. Finally, we have the most recent one. I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce it since I know I'll butcher it. It's so new that it has only appeared in 2 episodes. This opening really gives me hope for the final saga of One Piece. After Gear 5, Toei has given the animators full creative freedom, and they are cooking, to say the least. I can't describe the visuals, but they are awesome. It has tons of spoilers, which seems to be a good sign, as I talked about earlier. Anyways, if you haven't checked this one out already, please do it, because nothing I can say will do it any justice. Instant classic. There it is, the completed One Piece openings tier list. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe and like if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and God bless.